Alrighty. We are live. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Cheers, everyone. Sunday, it's about 45 degrees Fahrenheit here, whatever that is in Celsius. But a lot of dew on the grass. The grass is all wet, but the foliage is kicking. Really, really nice foliage. The trees are starting to turn here in New England. So a lot of people will get in their cars on a Sunday afternoon and just go for a ride because the trees are beautiful. They get better between now and say Halloween. It's going to be crazy. Beautiful foliage. All right, now I can see. Finishing up my breakfast here. How's everybody doing? We had a great stream yesterday. Top Conquer wasn't available, asked me to chime in, so I did. And we had a good stream. We had fun. In fact, afterwards, gosh, we were on ourselves, the panelists, chatting for about an hour. So we had some fun. So good morning to everybody. It is, like I said, about 45 degrees. Fall is here. Foliage is out. I'm finishing my breakfast. Whoever is out there, come on up. The link is there, and we'll see what goes on this morning. Uh, oh, I just want to remind everybody, those that didn't subscribe yet, my good friend Joseph, he's got a channel, young man, called Garden Tractor Boy. That's the name of his channel. He's in the UK. He's a great little young man who likes to rebuild garden tractors, mostly garden tractors. But check him out. I'll throw the link out there. But Garden Tractor Boy, he's at 972 subscribers. I want to get him to 1,000 so he can monetize and he can help himself out, him and his family. He's got a nice farm out there. He's done a lot of great restorations. His father and him, they have a little machining shop, wood shop, and I tell you, great kid, great channel. It's nice to see the young people involved in this stuff and fixing things and restoration. And so check them out, Garden Tractor Boy. Anywho, today's going to be a busy day. We got a lot of stuff in the driveway to be fixed. We finally got our missing Husqvarna oil pinion for the Rancher 455 saw. I've been waiting for that for about 4 months. It's been on international back order. Anywhere you went, I even went to HL Supply, and all these other places. International back order, nobody had it. Well, I went to my local dealer here. It used to be an Agway, now it's just called Benedict's. And I went to him a few weeks ago, and I said, "Can you get this thing?" And he said, "Let me look in the warehouse." And he looked, and he said, "You know what? There's one in the world left." And I said, "Can you order it?" He goes, "I'll try." And sure as heck, he calls me up on Thursday night and says, "It's here." So the oil pump pinion, the little plastic gear for a Rancher 455 that's been sitting in my garage since the summer, will finally get to be repaired. What the owner did, he did not grease the needle bearing inside the drum that rides on the crankshaft where the clutch is. He never greased it. I greased it 2 years ago for him, and I hadn't seen the saw in 2 years. This guy cut 8 cords a year of wood. So what happened was he never greased it. It heated up, overheated. It melted the bearing onto the crankshaft and onto the drum. It like welded itself on there. It was so hot, so the clutch drum turned blue. The clutch turned blue. It melted the oil pump pinion. It literally melted it, so it wasn't spinning the correct way anymore. The threads were damaged, so it couldn't turn the oil pump. So he never got oil. He burned up the bar and chain, turned blue, burned it up. So when he brought the saw to me, he said, "Oh, it won't start. It feels locked up. Something's going on." Yeah, well, he put a new bar and chain on it, figuring the bar and chain. Now, it was all messed up because the bearing seized, the needle bearing. So I'll have a video on that coming out, and I'll show you. But you have to grease your needle bearings at least, I'd say at least once a season. You know, Steel, I believe it's Steel, or it could be Husky, has the hole in the end of the crankshaft where you could put a push lube oil, needle grease gun, push it in there, and that's good for that. But if you don't grease those needle bearings on the chainsaws, no good. They will seize. Remember, they're turning 10, 12,000 RPM. You need lubrication on there. So, anywho, the link is out there. I just threw it out. We'll see if anybody wants to come up. Oh, somebody's in the basement. We got Habimota.
Hello.
So,
Good morning, Kenny.
yeah, if you heard that, the oil pump pinion melted itself to the back of the spur drum. It literally melted onto it because he never oiled the needle bearing, and he overheated the clutch, the drum, and welded the needle bearing onto the crankshaft and the drum.
Yeah, that's yeah, I've seen that before. It
So,
can
but
get
the pinion, a international back order for 4 months.
it's amazing.
Yep.
It's amazing. But I said, send me the number. I'll see if I can chase one down here.
No, I finally got it. I picked it up yesterday, but it was the only one
Okay.
left in the. I went there a few weeks ago after trying everybody else for months and months, and I said I really don't want to go to the dealer because everything's expensive at the dealer. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally, I said to him, I said, "What do you see in your inventory?" And the kid looked it up and he goes, "It's showing one in somewhere in the world." And I go, "Can you get it?" He goes, "I'll try." So then about 2 days ago, I go up there for something else and he says, "Hey, it's showing that it's shipped FedEx." I'm like, "Really?" So he calls me Thursday night and said it's here, and I actually have a little box of Husqvarna parts right in my truck here. I'll show you later, and I
Nice.
physically have it in my hands, and I can fix it. But the guy, it's funny. He cuts 6 to 8 cords a year. This guy, okay, and when it happened, he melted his chain, he melted his bar, turned all blue and all that. Didn't realize, and it finally just locked up, and you couldn't pull the pull cord. So he says, "Oh, I may have screwed up my engine," and I'm like, "Okay." And that's when I had to pry it off with a pry bar. That's how welded on it was on the crankshaft. I literally had to pry it off.
So no damage to the crankshaft?
Well, you've got some pitting in there where it like welded itself to it. I'm just gonna like Scotch Brite it and get it as best I can. And the steel though, I'm surprised with all the heat, the seal works. It doesn't leak. It doesn't leak mix out, and it runs first pull. I mean, those Ranchers are beautiful saws. 455 Rancher, it runs like brand new.
Yeah, they are nice.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I took it off. Has no marks, no scoring, no nothing. So it's good.
Yeah. It's the same thing when you do the. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go
what
ahead.
You doing today?
Well, me, I just finished my, creating a couple of steer stop brackets for the tractor. Got those painted and put on.
Show us the unicorn. Show us what you got the other day.
All right. The unicorn. What do you mean?
Yeah, the headlight panel.
Ah, yes. Hold on.
Klaus had called me a month or so ago and said, "Kenny, can you get this headlight panel for the picture I bought?" And everywhere you call, unobtainium, you can't get it. So tell the story about when, Klaus.
Well, there was a live stream done by one of my Danish YouTube colleagues, and there was a guy in the chat, and he wrote me on my email and said, "You know what? I think I have it. You can have it. Come and get it. You can have it. It's I only have the hood, and it's on its way out for scrap." So I drove down there. It's about an hour and a half away from here, and fair enough, there was this very, very nice young man who it was actually a marine shop, for marine engines, outboards, stuff like that.
Yep.
And he had a little thing going in the back of that facility where he was working on motors and so yeah, his name is Samuel. So Samuel, if you're watching, thank you very, very, very much. I drove down there, I picked it up, and he didn't want anything for it. And I said, that's no good. So I brought him a little 1/4-inch socket set, a fairly good one. I use them myself, and they're pretty good. So he was very happy about that. And yeah, so that's quite amazing when you think about how few of those tractors are sold here. That I just run into one guy who has it, just the hood of the tractor lying around. So it's not in great shape. It doesn't matter, and I don't have the inserts for the bulbs, and that's perfectly okay. I'm just gonna mount it, and it'll be without headlights, but at least it won't leave a gaping hole.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like someone without their front teeth. You want to make sure you got it there.
Yeah, you can't. You can't go to a party and expect to meet people if you don't have any teeth in your mouth. You're absolutely right. So, and the other nice thing too is that because I was debating on what to do with the hood, because somebody has drilled holes in it for, I think they mounted some external lights or something. So what I can do now is that I can just need to go get a piece of copper. I will try and weld shut these and then grind them down and repaint at least the top of the hood. So
Steel. Steel. It's actually steel.
yep. Before the day of plastic. Absolutely fantastic.
They don't do that anymore. Now it's all fiberglass glass.
Yeah.
And I mean, is that simplicity?
Huh?
Is that simplicity?
Yes.
Yeah, I had one of them once that had the metal bonnet, but they caved all the front in.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try my hand in trying to plug weld those at some point. That's gonna be interesting. And also think it has been repainted and it's not the right color, but I was looking through some web pages and I found where are you guys? Here you are. And this is called deep orange or something. Deep orange, yeah. And I don't know how well this shows up on camera or not, but it is very, very close to the color that it's painted in.
Oh.
And with a little clear lacquer on top, I think it'll be fine.
Blending all right, won't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. The only bummer is that I found the engine is running now, and it's running. Tom is trying to call on WhatsApp. Tom, get your butt in here.
I told him on YouTube.
Yeah, but the engine is leaking a little bit from the engine gasket, so the engine has to come out to have that fixed. And also it has this funny thing. Sometimes when you start it, it turns over fine. Other times it get hung up. Like you have a bad ACR. Was it got no ACR? Yeah. So I'll give the I'll give the component inside the check when I open it up. See if.
Did you already adjust the valve?
Yep.
They had no idea you were live, Ken. They had no idea you were live. 4 of them.
I put it in the WhatsApp. I actually said going onto YouTube.
I saw that, and then I saw you pop up when you were live, but there was 4 of them in there.
Okay.
And I hadn't seen it. So I bet you've got a lot in the basement already. You will have in a minute.
Yeah. Hey, Tommy. Good morning.
There was Bill, Tom, Simone, and someone else.
Yeah.
Tommy is there.
There we go. Starting already here. Speak of the devil, the land of Oz.
Hey guys.
Hey, there you are.
Yeah.
Tom, I saw your comment and I almost spit out my coffee. Oh my God.
About Luke.
The one about the ladies? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Luke.
Yeah, I've told Laura you love our channel. You forgot Laura appears on my channel, so there is female.
Oh yeah.
On my channel, yeah.
That's true.
That's brilliant. Yeah, Kenny, your live didn't come up for me, so I went in and Luke popped up and Simone popped up and then all of us and Bill popped up and then Luke was like, "You do realise Kenny's live?" And I was like, "No."
I put it on there. I said on YouTube, but
yeah, but it didn't come up. So I figured
I didn't get a notification.
No.
Huh.
Well, it's good to see everyone again.
I figured you blocked me.
Oh.
Hi, Tommy.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That was so strange. I still had that WhatsApp group chat up, and when Bill was talking on here, I could hear him on my phone as well through that.
Oh, really?
I was trying to figure out how to turn it off.
I think it's all right now.
How many people are watching? I can't ever see. I don't.
9.
9.
Oh, that's good. Hello to everyone in the chat. I keep forgetting people are in the chat, and I just talk to you guys, and then all of a sudden, I'm reminded.
Yeah, Ken, I'm not getting notifications, and I unsubscribed and resubscribed and reset the notifications yesterday, and still didn't get it.
Yeah, I didn't get one either.
Yeah, because didn't you miss yesterday's live, Bill? Did you write a message that you missed yesterday's live with Ken?
In the morning, I did. I got it the afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
What was your response
No,
to me, Luke? Oh, sorry.
You're
No, how did your sale go, Bill? Did you get rid of everything?
Yeah, I got a pocket full. It did good. I've got
Were you
one
happy with
lawnmower
the
and one
amount
weed
you
eater,
got?
and that's it.
Were you
And
happy
people
with all
always
the
buy
prices?
the
Bill?
ratty cheap stuff first.
Yeah, you said what? One guy offered you $7 for a mower.
A Mexican lady, yeah. She says how much for the weed eater? And it was an absolutely beautiful Ryobi full crank. Beautiful. I mean, it didn't look like it had seen dirt. And I said 70. Garage sale prices. You got to be cheap, And she handed me $7, and I said, we have a language problem here. I said, here's $7. Get out of my yard.
I had that with a gardening job once.
Sorry.
I went and I quoted
Hello.
30 pounds, and she thought it was 13 pounds. I said, no, it's 30. I never heard of her again.
Yeah, $7 for an absolutely perfect weed eater. And the worst part was, they spoke in Spanish, which I don't speak, but her and her friend talked for 3 minutes before she tried to hand me $7. They weren't sure if that was a good deal. And it's like,
Yeah, but Bill, I thought commensurate with your living in the state of Texas, you had to speak Spanish.
yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I lived in Fort Lauderdale for years. They've got a gay bar on every corner, but I didn't feel obligated to join in,
But there's nothing wrong.
Tom, that video you did the other day looking for the Villiers on the Sag Barra.
Oh, yeah.
That cracked me up, that did.
Yeah, I don't think I ever heard back from Mick on that one. Oh, I think he said one little thing, and that was
I
it.
think it should be played. I think it should be played if he comes up.
Yeah. It's a little middle finger. I went back there today, Luke. I went back and I picked myself up another weed eater, and I pushed the primer bulb a couple of times, and it was on like fuel on my finger. It split, but I was like, check valve in them, and you can be fine. And pulled it over a couple of times. It kicked. Pulled it over with choke off, and it ran. I was like, yeah, thank you very much. So I took that $5, which is always nice.
Do they get? How often does the sort of stock, or can't you tell? How often does their stock sort of change?
It changes generally every time I go there, which is once or twice a week. However, they do still keep some things that just never turn over. I'm kind of lucky. Like I love my 2-strokes, and no one really likes 2-strokes that they go to the dump. They all want the lawnmowers.
I love 2-strokes. People do lawnmowers because they're easy.
Do you know, Bill? It's
Blah,
so
blah, 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 blah.
I find 2-strokes easier.
To be honest, I'll just fix I'll have a go at whatever's there in front of me, whatever it is.
As long as it's not a diesel. I don't do diesel.
Oh, I don't mind diesels. To a degree. To a degree.
I'd like to do one. Yeah. I'd like to do a diesel generator.
My dad
I was watching an unnamed guy do a fuel injector on a diesel Mercedes just a couple of days ago or yesterday, and I thought, no, I don't want to do diesel. An unnamed guy.
That you, Klaus?
That was me.
I know.
Oh, it was you.
No, it was Luke. It was Luke.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, my dad, he's like an old school mechanic. He used to repair cars and that, but before they sort of went more electronical. So he's got a little Nissan, which has always been a real pain to start. It's an 05, I think. And he just bought 4 injectors for it. So he fitted them and said, why don't I start? I said, well, for a start, you do know you have to code them in. So I've got the diagnostic for a car. So I coded them all in. Wouldn't know, towed it or whatever. Didn't do nothing at all. I said, put your old ones back in because they weren't all out because it was running. And we got it to run, but it wouldn't rev out and the engine management lights were on. And one injector you couldn't code in. It wouldn't let you code one in. So I thought that must be the injector that's playing up. So he bought another injector, and that was the right one this time. He put that in, and my brother coded that in because my brother was up there. And it runs spot on now and starts so quick. It's just misfiring. So I think one of the other injectors is just slightly playing up because it's done a lot of miles. But, I like playing around with them, especially if you can get the computer out and sort of have a little play around with the diagnostics. It's a bit of fun. It's learning, isn't it?
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm put off by like the modern electronics and things. I don't really have an interest in them, but you sound like you enjoy it.
Well, I like to do it because, to be honest, from about 2000, early 2000s, if you're going to do anything with a car, you've got to have that and be able to do it, because it's not old school anymore, is it? It's
No.
you know, it's all computerized rather than
The
mechanical.
the newer Bricks engines, I don't know what they call it, Power Stroke or something. They some of them have a little electronic ignition module.
They do. I've heard that.
What does that do?
I'm not sure, but I know that the people in my dealership had to go on courses and all that because of things went to injection and everything as well. So you have to plug them in. You have to plug them in now.
Yeah, it's not injected, and there isn't a diagnostic plug for it. It just has. I mean, I thought first it was the rectifier, but it isn't. It says something about ignition module something.
Oh yeah.
And I don't quite understand why that's necessary.
It's a slightly different skill set, but it makes it more environment friendly.
Yeah,
with a bigger spark.
They're just a slightly different skill set.
It's probably something they've had to tweak to get it through the emission zone, so they've just tweaked it.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super easy to change the timing and everything with a with a $2 chip than it is.
Yeah. No, but I mean, if it's something that constantly adjusts the timing, I can see that as a benefit, absolutely. But other than that, I thought it was kind of just another gadget that could break.
Go wrong. You're so right. I'm sick of it. They're just. I mean, some things, like you say, are really good. M-tronic, for the overwhelming majority of people, is wonderful, right? It's so good. But for people that like to work on the equipment,
it sucks.
Yeah, it just sucks. It's just another whole bunch of wires going into it.
Yep.
And more difficult to diagnose or mess around with expensive parts.
My dealership here, if I have an M-tronic saw in for a service and I have things apart, which is part of the service, right? And I have to go and get it reset, £100.
Yeah. So they charge
£100. He plugs it in. It takes 30 seconds. He goes, "Yep, it runs great now. Well, thank you."
Hey, Simone.
Hi, Simone.
It's more in you've made doing all the work, isn't it? And they've plugged in for 5 minutes.
Yeah. And I know that some of the guys that comes here, hi John, they some of them are fairly knowledgeable on how their saw is supposed to run, and they go out and they cut down big trees and stuff, and they have that little orange screwdriver in their back pocket just in case it doesn't perform exactly as they want it.
Yeah.
And they hate the thing.
Yeah.
Because they can't touch anything.
No.
And they say about maybe sometimes twice a day they have to do the reset, where you start it at a certain, you let it idle for 45 seconds or something, and blah blah.
That sort of thing, yeah.
Before it starts up again, and they say it's really bad if it's foggy outside, and all of a sudden it clears. There's something in there. They say that it's not doing it right, so they have to reset it.
Gosh.
But I don't know.
My dad used to always have to go if he wanted.
Yeah, you're right there, Klaus.
Electronic fuel management.
Oh, fuel.
How does that work? Fuel.
They call it CXI series.
It must be like
injected, huh? Is it injected?
Yeah, like fuel injection.
Yeah, it has to be because there's not much electronics you can put on a carburetor. A little bit.
Yeah. A solenoid.
I was going to say at the fuel. Well, no, you could control the jets and you could control the fuel intake, but it would turn it into a $300 carburetor.
Well, why the hell would you as well?
The term you would use is injector at that point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at the carburetor just to see how much it is.
Yeah, then compare it to a normal one.
Now, guys, remember on a well, not different, but similar topic. You guys remember we talked about the let's see if I can get it here.
I was waiting for Klaus to say, make sure you look up OEM prices.
There, the new Honda engines. The one where they only have like 0.4 liters of oil in them.
Oh yeah.
This little mower here, whenever it's started up, it runs for it takes the guy 2.5 hours to mow his lawn, and
Wow.
It runs a lot, and he brings it in once a year, every year. And this is the third time because it's 3 years old now. And I had a look at the oil. I was looking for glitter. I was looking for tons of things. First of all, he has never refilled with oil. It doesn't consume any oil. Second,
You
yes,
change it when you get it every year.
of course.
Yeah,
it's part of the service. The oil, of course, it was darker than if it was new, but it wasn't black. And this thing has, I don't know, 60, 70 hours on it between, he puts that on it every year, which is a little more than the regular service interval. But that little engine, it first pull, it runs absolutely fantastic.
Nice.
On their newer style ones like that, are they the ones you can change the crank from the top? You can take it out from the top. I heard they changed them. You didn't have to take the bottom apart. Anything else apart, there was something on the top. You could actually take them out through the top. So
maybe I haven't had one apart. I do know, and I think it was Stella that mentioned it, that it's designed now with 40% less parts or something inside, internal parts.
That could be how you can take the crank out from the top then, because of that sort of thing, yeah. So
it's I mean, it looks like a GCV, older GCV, but then again, not entirely.
I suppose is that much like the new GCV 200 because they do the 200.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. You can't tell a difference. Yep.
No. Yeah, they've just gone up 10 numbers and then just changed the style, haven't they?
Yeah, it's just displacement differences. I even think it's the same carburetor.
Yeah.
So no, but it runs fantastic. I had the let's see if I can find it. I have it right here. I mean, you can tell from the air filter that it's been used, right? This is the plug. Let's see here. And it doesn't look bad. It really doesn't look bad.
See worse. See much worse.
Good. I'd use it.
So no, it's I'm pretty impressed with those little Honda engines so far.
They've always been all right. Some people have knocked the CGV, but they've always been a good engine, I think.
But when you take out a third of the volume of oil / coolant, right?
Yeah.
You'd think that it would be a little rougher on it, but I think this thing is running cooler than an older GCV.
It could be like you said, with less parts in it. It hasn't got so much parts to cool, has it?
No, and I'm telling you, it feels like there's much more air coming out of the side of the shroud than on my own. I have a GCV 190.
Yeah, the older style, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it just runs cooler. I just wish that they would stop making these in aluminum and start making them in steel, because this one is already dented a little bit.
Yeah, when you hit a tree or something, it soon dents them in, don't it?
Yep.
Oh, at least put guard on. They could put guard in front of that. At least if they did that, it would help a bit, wouldn't it?
Just make it out of steel.
Yeah.
And be done with it. I mean, the little cheap bricks ones, the ones that have the self-tapping screws.
Oh yeah.
They don't dent.
No, they don't, do they? I've never seen one of them dented.
No. So
I've actually got one for sale at the moment, a little Honda, the old 135 GCV 135, and that's dented.
Mm-hmm.
That's dented, but it isn't affecting anything. Where it's dented, it hasn't. You can tell it's caved in one side a little bit.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, you have plenty of room.
Yeah.
I'm just scared that it might either hit the pulley or will stop a valve from opening, and it'll bend the push rod. I'm sorry, not the push rod, the whole mechanism. But I don't know. It's we'll see. But this thing definitely it runs a lot. I think it's the mower that comes in here that is driven as hard as any to 2.5 hours constantly running, he says, whenever he starts it up.
Well, over the years, have they changed anything else bar the engine on the Clippos, or is much of the rest of the machine much the same as it?
Yeah, they
always
have.
driving
First
that.
of all,
have they-
yeah, they have. I mean, this is a classic. It has the drive here on the
Oh,
side.
yeah.
There's a gearbox up here, and there's a belt pulley thingy in here. The newer ones that comes out of Husqvarna, they're now painted orange, but they have the front drive system like you would see on an old, Poulan or McCulloch.
Oh yeah, the ones with
AYP.
with the cover at the front, right at the front. Yeah.
And you know what? That's just not worth the money then,
Nah.
because those things. I mean, this one is almost completely sealed. There's very little dirt that gets in here. And the system doesn't wear a lot. The belt in here usually lasts 5 or 6 years with no problems.
So the whole shape of the mower is different now. The molding of the mower is different now.
They do look a bit the same. You can still get the classic one here, but the newer one, yeah, they look different. It's still got the really thick aluminum deck, but yeah, they look like any other Husqvarna product, basically. Yeah, they still cost an arm and a leg though.
Yeah, I've never had one. I've had most mower mates, but never had one of them.
No, I think this is the one with the it has the rubber mounts here on the handle.
Oh yeah.
So it reduces the amount of vibration that you pick up with your hands when you use it. I think it's one of the only mowers that's actually approved for being used for a full day in terms of vibration
but
for the
2.5
user.
hours mowing your own yard. That's time when it's time for a rider.
Yeah.
Well, I told the guy that when he bought this, because he came and asked me which one he should buy, and I said this one. But he said, no, I don't want a rider. I need the exercise.
Oh, 2.5 hours. No, if I get exercise, I'm gonna let's get exercise water skiing. Let's get exercise roller skating. Let's get exercise doing anything but cutting the yard.
But see, Bill, that's easy for you to say, living in a place where it's always a nice outdoor friendly climate, right?
It's 117 in the summer here. That is not friendly for outdoor activity. You just do it anyway.
But I don't think if I'd even go water skiing, even on a good summer day here. It's cold as heck. So no, but it's he says I need the exercise. I don't mind. I have the time. I do it on Saturdays or Sundays, and
I bet he enjoys it, Klaus.
Yeah.
I think he does. I think he
part of
does.
his routine, I suppose, and he's achieving that. If he went for a run, he wouldn't be achieving cutting his lawn, would he?
Yeah.
Right, partners.
And the guy is not down on money. I mean, if he wanted one, he'd just go buy one. But he doesn't want one, and that's fair enough. That's
I consider cutting my yard to be manual labor. I've got a 22 horse riding lawnmower for a third of an acre. It's like the blower has to be a backpack blower because it's
that's
faster.
how I
It makes
think.
it go
That's
away.
how I think about it. But I've been doing it as a job for 20 years, so I just want to be done as quick as possible.
And that's fair enough because you're out making a living, right? And that's the faster you get done, the sooner you can take on another job. So, but this little thing, it's put to work. Gonna be interesting to follow it when it gets 6-7 years old. See how it holds up.
I would say in the summer, my dad probably spends 10 to 15 hours a week doing his garden where he is. With the strimming, he does use the ride on, but with the strimming and everything, that's how much time he puts into his garden. Yeah. Some people
I think here when I
can be obsessed. Some can be obsessed with it, but each to their own.
I mean, about a month after I fertilized, I mow my lawn 3 times a week. It's not that big, I know, but it still takes half an hour with a mower and maybe 20 minutes with a trimmer.
Yeah.
And that's 3 times
a week. It
week.
gets too hot for the grass to grow really fast here, no matter how much water you put on it.
Well, we had it this year like that over here, so grass didn't grow much this year, but usually. Tim asked me a question, I think. No, I'm not finished cutting grass yet. It'll still be for a little while yet down here.
Yeah. But I fertilize mine 4 times a season, so it does tend to. to grow a lot when it gets water.
Well, we have a few we do, and they have green thumb in. Have you heard of green thumb? Do you get them over there?
Nope.
It's just like these companies that go around and weed
Oh,
and feed
yeah,
your lawn
yeah,
and that.
yeah,
You know, you
yeah,
might have them in
yeah.
different name. One's called
Yeah.
grasshopper. There's another one called grasshopper, I think. But a few of our customers have them do it, and yeah, their lawns just grow like mad. They do.
Yeah, I mean, no, but it's still even though it gets colder at night here, it's still hey, who are you? Hello.
That's a good looking cat.
Well, he keeps himself busy. He's catching leaves at the moment, and it's a little windy, so he's busy.
Oh, that's sweet, Klaus. Hey, Klaus, have you got an update with your flights to the UK yet?
No, I you know what? I call up KLM. I'm put on hold, and after about 5 minutes, I say, "Oh, the waiting line is more than 45 minutes. We're gonna hang up." Poof, you're off. It's like, what?
Oh, bloody! I'm a
So-
customer. Yeah.
You're not wanted over here. I think the British should
Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I'll try them on Monday, because then I know that the Scandinavian customer service center is open for sure. I'll call them there and see if I can get an earlier flight. If I can't get an earlier flight, I'm gonna have to cancel, which I really don't want to do because the hotel is not refundable.
What's the problem at the moment then? What is actually the problem?
They canceled my flight.
Oh, they actually
And
cancelled.
then and then they rebooked me on the following flight, which means I won't be able to be at Concourse until 8:39 p.m., which I don't want to do because the thing stops at 11.
Don't Ryanair fly out from near you?
Yeah, but not out of Billund, which is my nearest airport, to Southampton. So, well, we'll see how it goes. I hope they can put me on an earlier flight on the same day.
Yeah.
If not, I have a problem. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
I hope there's a solution there. Because I don't think my transportation from Southampton Airport to the hotel is already paid for, and I'm not quite sure if that's refundable. My hotel is not refundable, I know.
Who did you book them up with? Did you do that?
The hotel?
Oh, not booking.com or anything.
Yeah, I did booking.com.
Oh, yeah, because sometimes you can have free cancellation up to 24 hours before, can't you? But you have to pay a little bit more for it then.
Yeah, but the only offer they had left was non-refundable. For that place, which is only like a 10-minute walk or a 5-minute car ride from where the shindig is.
Oh yeah.
So it's perfect, but if KLM can't get me there, I have a bit of an issue, don't I?
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of looking forward to it, so I'm gonna see what I can.
You're looking forward to meeting Nick?
Yeah, and Conquer. Yeah, I did.
Did
I did. Oh, actually, I did.
Tommy's
Who replies to that email? Hey, can't bring that up for a second.
Hey, I've got a 10-second delay between my computer and my phone.
Look at that top email. Who replies to that?
Yeah, but you see, Tommy, I am not part of the Stinky Fish Challenge.
Yeah,
I can read that, Bill. It's a bit
the very top one. It's all exclamation points and underscores between the words. It says exclamation T-Mobile in italics. Apply _UR BENFTS.
What?
Oh,
yeah, nothing's even spelled right.
That makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. That's what I say. And somebody clicks on it or they wouldn't spend their time. I get those emails daily, at least 3 a day. And it's like, come on now. If you're going to spam me, at least spell it right. You know?
Yeah, they get. Yeah, that's how you can tell them that even the bank, the ones they do for bank, have always got a spelling mistake or something.
Yeah,
it had T-Mobile and exclamations on each end of it. And it's like, that's not a giveaway.
Greg, you're right. Southampton Airport is small, but if I was going to take Gatwick or Heathrow or something, the transportation in time and money going to where I need to go would cost me a fortune.
Yeah, that's the problem. Coming out from London, isn't it? Really? Yeah.
So and also I have an issue making it in time because of the transportation out of Gatwick or Heathrow. So I hope that I hope KLM can put me on an earlier flight on that Saturday, and I'll just have more time on my hands. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm calling it over because that's not. Yeah, Dick, I know. I can't. That's one of the things I am looking forward to. Proper lager. You're absolutely right. I do. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It was a bit of a bummer when I got the message Friday. But hey, there's no plane. There's no plane.
See how it goes. Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah. But it was actually, and also because it was actually my turn in the household to get a few days off doing something else. Because the girlfriend, she's been to Iceland, and they went to a thing in a summer cabin somewhere with her friends, and I wasn't there because I was messing around with mowers in the spring. So it was actually my turn to get out. So I hope it'll work out. Fingers crossed. And no, I am not part of the stinky fish thing. It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what Mick wants you to think. I am not part of the stinky
He's
fish.
just going to be the referee between.
No way.
I like that he voted you in without your say there, Klaus. He kind of moved you. He was like, "Well, we'll do this. We're going to do this," and you were like, "No,
I'm not doing. If somebody brings that can, I'm out of there because holy crap, it stinks."
Hey,
perhaps he's got confused because he's always saying you're Dutch. Perhaps he thinks you're Swedish now, and because it's from Sweden, perhaps he thinks, bring him in on this.
Well. And that's another thing. I never found out. How come we don't have any Dutch people here, or Germans for that matter? I don't understand that.
One.
You got a German?
No.
Yeah, you don't count.
No, you mean living in Germany and coming on here from Germany.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
Yeah.
Or
Holland.
The Dutch have what, 6 million people?
No, they have a bit more.
Okay, let's say 10 million people out of 8 billion. So, well, one's all we need.
Yeah, well, we're only 6 million here, and
not Australian.
we're only 6 million, and you already met 2 of us.
Well, that's true.
Ralph is Dutch, Harkness said. I've seen him on a few things.
Oh, don't start that again. Look, that's not good.
That guy is an idiot.
What is in there? What's in there?
It's fermented herring.
Oh,
can you buy
I actually send out a link to Kenny and Mick and Bruce on how to properly do it.
That's too sensible.
He's trying to kill his taste buds with a hot pepper first.
Oh God, what's it called? What?
He's making himself sick.
Yeah, what is the point in doing that? I see nothing other than...
No, if it tastes that horrible, why would you want to do it?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like oysters.
It's expensive as well, isn't it? It's not cheap.
Yeah, it is expensive.
What's a roll mop herring? Dick Smallington says a roll mop herring is good.
Lovely. Hello, Tom from Vintage. Hello, William. Why does everyone say that from Vintage? Might be American.
Yeah.
Kenny, I don't think any of us are enjoying this. I must be honest.
He's not enjoying it on the video.
No,
it doesn't look like he's having fun.
Oh,
There
where?
we go.
Sir Stroming, that's the stuff, isn't it?
He's
Klaus?
out of there.
Klaus?
He tagged out after one.
That's why Ken's never come over here. He's worried about go and visit Mick's, and that'll be on the table in front of him.
I'm sure it's called Sir Stroming.
Oh, but like Mick said, it's going to be Mick and Conker across from each other, facing each other, doing the challenge.
Nobody in the history of man has ever gone to England for the food.
Yeah.
Ever.
No, they go for dentistry.
But they don't go for the food. You might go to France or Italy for the food. You don't go to England.
Cornish
Although-
pasties. Cornish pasties.
I'd like to try some shepherd's pie and stuff like that. It must be good over there.
But you can make
Yeah, that
shepherd's
sounds
pie
good.
in your own kitchen. That's easy.
Yeah, you can. Oh yeah, Ralph.
Yeah,
He's good.
you want to go to like an English family, Kenny, who actually makes it rather than eat it out anywhere, because it's gonna be junk.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Unless you go
in
to
London.
a really old school like village or town, and they've got a little cafe, and all the locals that go there, then that's where you would want to eat. But generally, don't waste your
No,
money.
but what they call good is not what we call good.
Yeah.
What do you call good then? Food wise.
You know, the best food I've had in the last 6 months was when I was in Indiana. It was a cheeseburger. It was the best cheeseburger I've ever had in my life.
Bill, if that's what you call good food, you've just gone down in my estimation, mate.
Well, yeah, but we
No,
went to a Gordon
no,
Ramsay
no,
restaurant in
hold
London
on.
and couldn't eat there. We just couldn't.
Hold on. A
Because you
good
still-
burger is good food.
Yeah.
A bad burger is crap food.
Actually,
Yes.
I'll tell you something. I've just been on a holiday with a cruise ship, and the burger, it's an American cruise ship, and that burger on there, they made them on the special counter, and that was lovely burger. That was.
Yeah.
I love a burger, but I don't get excited by one. You know, it's not like
Oh well,
What you guys
come on
call
over.
the
I'll make
Sunday-
you a good one.
check that out.
See, now I like fish and chips, but when I want tartar sauce, then everybody in the entire country looks at me like I've lost my mind.
Yeah, they want
Would you do-
vinegar.
We do
Yeah.
do good fish
Vinegar,
and chips.
vinegar.
We do good fish and chips
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah, but you can't eat that 3 meals a day.
Dick's got it right. Oh, good times,
No
mate.
steak,
Lovely.
steak fajitas, grilled steak fajitas, black bean soup, and cornbread. That will make my day any day. I think.
Oh,
Careful, Tom. Careful.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, Greg
I'm
is kind of
learning.
right. We sort of put cheese on everything. The only thing we don't put cheese on is cereal.
But yeah,
And
look,
sometimes when you see,
who-
but when you see some of the, I don't know if you guys follow this guy. He's called Ballistic Burger Ballistic Hamburger, Ballistic Burger, Ballistic something. He makes hamburgers and he makes some good ones. But sometimes it feels like it's all about how much cheese you can put on it,
Yeah.
Really?
and all that does is make it greasy and salty.
sometimes when I see them doing it in the States, it's also how much they can put in the burger and how big and massive they can make it. That's just too much
Yeah.
food.
No,
Oh,
but I
yeah,
mean,
you find some places that just for effect, they make like these 5-pound burgers.
Yeah.
They don't expect anybody to eat it. It's there for novelty.
if you go to the West, Ballistic Burgers, he go see him. He makes some good food. Some of it.
Now,
But
the
if you
place
get to the
in
western,
Indiana that
if
had
you
the
get to the
best
western
burgers-
states, if you get to the western states, In-N-Out Burger. That's
Oh,
the
come on
reference.
that's
No,
mediocre
yeah, that
burgers.
No, that's good burger. That's a good
That's like
burger.
in Texas, they've got Whataburger that people just love, and it's like,
Whoa,
Yep.
Now that's a burger.
There we
that's a
go.
burger.
nice.
With a, ni-
That's a
with a
goddamn
nice
hamburger there.
I don't like the brioche buns on that, Kenny.
No.
No, I don't like the crispy. I like it when they're soft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Potato buns. Mm,
Yeah, potato buns, are they soft, are they? They sound like
No,
them.
mm, mm.
Yeah, I didn't like the buns what they had on the burgers on the ship. Actually, they were like the sweet sort of burger.
Oh, I don't mind.
Brioche buns. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like them.
No.
So have you guys all had a good day today?
Yeah,
So
not bad.
far-
Video. He's making onion burgers.
Yeah, onion burger. Oh, that's good stuff. They're a little messy. It's a little messy, but they are extremely tasty.
Never heard of onion
Smash
burger.
burger. The smash onion burger is about as good as it gets. That's good
Ah.
stuff.
Yeah.
The Lawrence burger,
He's got a video on it. Yeah.
the best cheeseburger I've
I
ever
tell you-
had in my life.
Mm.
He's got 7,000 subscribers. Wow.
Wow.
Food sells.
Now, now, in my defense of the Lawrence burger, my uncle owns
Yeah.
the restaurant, but that's beside the point.
Dick, I thought they had.
Yeah, onion burger. Mm.
I've never had an onion burger.
Well, that's good stuff. And it's so easy to make.
Here's
All right,
one.
guys, I think I'm going to have to shoot for 5 minutes.
loaded with all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
See, they worked too hard they tried too hard for that burger.
Bacon, cheese, all kinds of stuff.
Cheers, Tom.
Yeah, I'm just.
I mean, when a burger gets to the size where you have to eat it with a knife and fork, it's not fun anymore.
It's not really a burger then, is it? Burger's
No,
burning up, isn't it? Yeah.
They're talking about burgers.
I
All right,
remember,
guys.
was it? I watched something is Man versus Food, and they had a burger in a Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's like that
Mhm.
big.
I love Yorkshire. But Klaus, you're right though. Smash burger, where they just smash it into a patty. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
or they squeeze it down so it sticks to the cooking surface, and you get this nice crust on the meat. Really good stuff.
That does, yeah,
Mark-
Greg, I'd agree.
The nearest White Castle to me is in like Western Pennsylvania, so it's like 4 hours away.
Wow, that's a
Well,
long
they-
drive for a burger.
They make sliders, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, the onion burger sliders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dick, they tried to do that. They can't legally call them supersize anymore. But the only place like McDonald's, you can get a small or large fry. It used to be extra large, stuff like that. Especially New York City with drinks, they passed a law where they can't sell a drink over, I think it's 16 ounces. It's against the law now because the soda was making the kids fat. So.
Yeah.
Well, go get a diet then.
It's a friend of mine decided to call
Yeah.
KFC Kids Fattening Center.
Yeah, what is a mess? What is that?
Yeah, Parkness talking about White Castles.
Mackie
It's
D.
worse than
Mackie D.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
No, White Castle's different. It's just
No, White
different.
Castle totally different sliders. Yeah.
Yeah, those are
I-
you love them or hate them. They're weird things. You can't call them hamburgers though.
No.
No, they're just like little onion beef things. Yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
2 pickles, you got to get double pickles and extra onions, and then all of a sudden they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Luke, do you remember Wimpy, Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wimpy, I've had
I
that.
always found their burgers were really bland.
I
Yeah.
thought they were all right, actually. I thought they were like better than a McDonald's burger.
Oh, it's probably
Yeah,
better
like
made.
They're a better made burger, but
Yeah,
I
better made
suppose they
burger.
were
No,
quite-
nobody wants to know how food is made.
No, they
No,
don't.
doesn't
Whatever
It
you
looks like-
do,
It
oh,
looks like spam.
yeah, it does. Yeah,
It is.
whatever you
It is.
do, don't look up how they make popcorn chicken. You don't
No.
want to know.
No.
No.
In
I actually don't
Scotland,
wanna
that's
eat
square
popcorn
sausage
chicken.
in Scotland.
Yeah, you don't. No, it's not good.
Yeah, really. When you look at a White
No.
Castle, here's a good picture. It's not much of anything. It's a very thin
No.
patty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's not much.
Yeah.
It's
No, but I
almost
mean,
like a
in-
dinner
in-
roll.
Yeah,
Who's
but I mean,
getting-
in all honesty,
who's
a
getting
McDonald's
hungry now?
burger, a McDonald's burger, at least you can taste what is what. I mean, some of the burgers you get here at cafes, there's so much dressing and stuff in them that
Yeah.
basically can't taste the meat from the dressing, from the salad, from the pickles, at least at McDonald's hamburger, you can taste the pickle, you can taste the meat.
Yeah, we actually got a new takeaway that opened near us, and I've had 2 things from there, and they absolutely smother it with so much mayonnaise you can't taste
Yeah.
anything else. And
No,
I don't
and-
really have much mayonnaise, if any. But you know, if you forget, the whole thing's ruined because it's just slopping around everywhere, and it's horrible,
Yeah.
horrible. I
Yeah,
give up
yeah.
that place.
That's a wimpy
Too much-
burger.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember those. They looked so good on paper. It does
Yeah.
not look like that when you get it.
No, it
They
doesn't.
never,
It's just like McDonald's or Burger King now.
Yep.
I went
Oh
to
my god.
I went to a McDonald's a few years, well, quite a few years back in Sardinia, and they were really nice because they actually had the Italian bread as the buns.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so there was special different. I'd never seen that on the menu, obviously over here before, but you know,
Here's
it
one
was
from
different.
here's one from Egypt. Oh my word, check that out.
That's probably going to be low on bacon.
Oh, good lord.
That's from Egypt.
Yeah, that's a camel burger right there.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know, but I mean, if you go to India, what the devil do? They don't eat cows.
Yeah,
What do they
I've
put
got
in?
a friend in India, and it's all chicken stuff and all sorts of goo.
Egypt
Okay.
again.
Hmm.
There must be a lot of fat people in Egypt.
Yeah, that looks good though.
But I
I
mean,
mean-
who would go to Egypt to eat McDonald's? I don't get that.
Yeah, right.
No, that's wimpy.
That's a Wimpy.
Yeah.
Is that where all the Wimpies have
Wow.
gone, Simone? Have they all left
Sorry?
here and gone? Have they all left here and gone to Egypt?
They must have done. They used to have one in Plymouth, but it disappeared about 10 years ago.
Every town nearly had a Wimpy back in the day.
They did, yeah.
That was sort of the McDonald's of the day, you know, back
Yeah.
then.
Mm.
You watch some of the old TV programs, you can see Wimpy written in the back.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wimpy was a big chain back in the day.
Back when your car was new, round about that time, wasn't it?
Probably, yes.
Yeah, in the 70s.
No, but I mean, from
Nice.
those really fast food places, a Burger King Whopper is to me that's a fair burger. That's I kind of like it.
I did find that the Wimpy prices went up faster than the other places. So
They're quite expensive, I think
avoid it.
Wimpy were.
Yeah, they were expensive.
But you did used to get a lot of fries in that. If you wanted some fries.
Oh,
it might be
yeah,
a
you
lot
got-
more.
Yeah, you did get a decent sized meal. You got like a burger, you got fries, you got a drink, you got baked beans and loads of other stuff.
Yeah.
You got a proper meal. It wasn't just a burger.
It was quite strange. The two towns near me.
Yeah. Wow. Have they got
That
Wimpy
looks
in the
good.
States?
Yeah. We don't
Oh,
have
they
it
do.
in Connecticut.
It was
I used
quite
to find
strange,
it-
actually. The two towns near me, one 6 miles away and the other 6 miles away, they both had Wimpies. And they've only one's just got its first McDonald's, and the other one still hasn't got a McDonald's. So actually, I wonder if Wimpy sort of had the rights to the burgers of that town. Sort of.
Maybe.
I'm not sure
Partners.
whether. I
Is
do
it still
wonder-
there, Partners?
I don't think you can monopolize a type of food.
No, but you can monopolize the recipe.
That's very true. No, I remember Wimpy in the 1980s, and when we were kids, a Wimp was someone who was like soft.
Yeah,
So we used to think, oh, it must be terrible food. But it's called Wimp.
yeah. If someone was weak, yeah, they'd be called a
Yeah,
Wimp.
yeah, weak.
Yeah, but remember, Wimpy was from Popeye. That's the whole thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
Popeye cartoon. Wimpy would say, "I'll gladly pay you Tuesday
Tuesday
for a hamburger."
ah.
today.
That's where it came from. Wimpy from Popeye, the cartoon.
Wow, what is that? I've no idea what that is in there.
Oh,
That's
that's the
ribs.
bender, isn't it? They call that the bender. It's a sausage just cut and curled round in a circle.
Oh, oh, I see.
The bender.
That's really.
Yeah,
That's a terrible name.
that's what they call it. Actually, it's quite a tasty. It's quite a tasty burger because I've had bender burger. But I have.
That sounds terrible.
I probably shouldn't say I've experienced one in the
Yeah, it's
past,
still
but
there.
I have eaten one.
I think I'm going to have to find a Wimpy and go and try a meal in there.
There you go.
Good advert.
I'll gladly pay
Pay
you
you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Ah,
That was
I think that's his only
Popeye.
line in the whole show.
yeah.
oh yeah, look at that, Wimpy Kid.
Mm.
Oh yeah, the Diaries of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah, my daughter used to watch it.
Well, you guys want to see something strange? Around here, there's a town called Meriden, Connecticut, and they're known for their steamed cheeseburgers. If you look it up, it's a place in Meriden, Connecticut. Steamed cheeseburgers.
Thing is, when I was young, and you're almost at the same age as me, Simone, there weren't no McDonald's around, was there then?
No, there weren't.
The first sort of things we started to get more like that was the little chefs and that, and the happy eaters, weren't they? They was what sort of
Yeah, Happy
started-
Eater. I remember that. Yeah,
and the little chefs. We had a few little chefs.
little
near
chef.
here.
Yeah, most little chefs are gone now.
Yeah, they were all the
Little-
motor. A lot of them were the motorway places.
That was
Now
it.
they've been replaced
Yeah.
with McDonald's and
Yeah.
Burger King now.
Yeah, that's a shame, really. I don't think they were that
Happy Eater and that
expensive.
did a good meal, really.
Steamed cheeseburger. Oh my god, that looks awful.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
Oh no,
Oh yeah, we have got in Cambridge Five Guys Burger.
bloody
We've got them.
hell! That's as
Yeah.
big as his head.
Yeah.
That's that ballistic burgers. Yeah, that's called a Guga burger.
I think that give me indigestion eating
Is
that.
that the kind of noises you'd make when you're trying to bring it back up again? Ooga.
I think
Hey,
I've
though,
gained
he's
2
got a-
pounds. Let's talk, Klaus. Let's talk about oil.
Yeah, let's talk about something different.
Cooking
No,
oil.
no.
Oh, I think I'm going to go up to TC shortly.
Yeah, I've got to go chase down some chainsaws. It's chainsaw time
Yeah.
here.
I missed
And
a
I've
parcel
got no
yesterday.
chainsaws left.
I missed a parcel yesterday, and I don't know what it could have been.
Yeah, Five Guys. That's popular around here. Five Guys.
Yeah, we've got one in Cambridge.
Five
Yeah,
Guys.
they're not.
Cambridge, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
never heard of those
Not-
before.
Five Guys is pretty good.
And I'll tell you what we've got as well, which is good in Cambridge. It's called Nines, as in the number Nines. And it's like a global buffet. So you just pay your money and you go round and you just get whatever you
Is that,
want.
is that
yeah.
like Red Lobster or something?
I'm not
Is
sure.
that the same?
I'm not
They
sure.
serve buffet all day.
Yeah, this is 2 times a day. There's certain bit in the sort of the lunchtime, and then you get the evening sort of thing. Yeah, I think last time I went it was about 18. In the evening it was £18, but earlier in the day it was cheaper. And you could just all you can eat. Yeah, there's a few scattered around the country. Nines, I think it is. I ain't been there for a while though.
Yeah, Ken, this is kind of weird. I'm looking. I don't have a notification from you. And I actually unsubscribed and resubscribed and re-hit the notification bell, hoping that it'd fix it.
But
And
this is on your subscriber list of videos, is it?
It was on the subscriber list.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
at the top
why
of my
I rely on.
subscriber list.
Yeah.
But
I
I
only
didn't. I never
rely
got a
on that.
notification for it.
Yeah, I
That
don't
is
think
too
I had it.
weird.
I don't think I had it come up that Ken was going live. But
No, I didn't get a notification either.
But I just, like I said earlier,
I found out in the
I
chat.
check up every so often, so I sort of know.
What is this? What is bread meets bread? What is that? Anybody?
Is that a
I don't know.
burgerless? Is that a burgerless burger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question: a chainsaw will a steel MS 250 crank fit an MS 251?
Is this a riddle?
Maybe.
No, it's something I had for sale, and it's a chainsaw part. It's from an MS 250 crankshaft. If someone wants to know, will it fit an MS 251, which will be slightly the newer model?
You'll have to
couldn't
go look up.
I
you
couldn't
have to go-
guarantee it. I can't guarantee
You'd
it.
have to see if the part number matches between the two.
Yeah.
If the
But
part
I
number
can-
doesn't match, there's a reason it doesn't match.
They can do that.
Usually, when it ends in an even number, that's a homeowner saw. When it's an odd number, like 290 or 250 versus 251, 250 is like a professional type, where 251
Yeah.
would be a homeowner.
Yeah, I'm going to risk it because you send it out to them, they'll say it's wrong and want to send it back. So, yeah, I'm going to mess with that.
That's the nearest Wimpy to me.
Oh, that's in Devon, is it? Barnstable?
Yeah, North Devon. That'll take like an hour to get there.
Get James to go there and tell you what it's like.
Yeah, yeah. Oh well.
Oh, it's a burger place. Bread and bread. Okay. Interesting. Well, no, Matt Olson, he's Mr. Chainsaw Guy. He might know if a 251 and 250 are the same.
But when you got that, if I look up something for sale and I think the part might be right, I'll do the research myself. They just throw you a question expecting you to do the research for them, or no. So I won't commit myself there. They have to. It's their choice.
I'll give them a definitely maybe. That it'll fit.
You'd say maybe.
I said definitely maybe.
So that's neither here or there.
You know, I go look online for chainsaw, and then I set my ceiling price to $50. And then what that does is it narrows it down to ones that won't start.
Yeah.
I keep looking for bits and pieces on the marketplace, and everything's quite expensive, even if it's broken nowadays. It's not that cheap.
Funny. They're only $20 different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it could be an entirely different saw inside. Or one of them could have a valve running up the camshaft.
Now
Well,
I know that
I have the decompression button on the Pro one.
I know that
What was the
if you
question,
take an old 025 versus some of the following MS 250s, they're exactly the same saw.
There we go. One is 45 cc, the other's 46.
Yeah, and that's enough. That's enough to break the bank. It's probably stroke.
One's got an 18-inch bar, and the 51. One's got a 15.
They've probably just done it so you can't interchange parts off the old one. So you have to buy the parts, haven't they? Yeah.
Yeah, the only way you can change the size is stroke and piston size.
Yeah.
So it's a different crankshaft.
But I bought an aftermarket pot and piston the other day.
It doesn't have to. No, Bill, it doesn't have to be, because if you just increase the size of the piston, you increase the volume. You can still do that on the same crankshaft on the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's just a little bit
the size of the motor.
Yeah.
Same horsepower in each, it says.
Yeah, if you've got a 46 cc versus a 45 cc, it's either got a larger piston, a bigger cylinder, or a longer crankshaft, because a longer crankshaft changes the size of the motor also.
Yeah.
If I had it on the bench, I'd give it a go. But I'm not going to commit myself telling them it'll fit.
It's 45 to 46. So if they change the crankshaft, the question is it a different cylinder? Is it going to top out against the top of the cylinder?
That'd be the only thing.
Stroke.
But then again, it's a casing the same where it fits in and everything. Is that all exactly the same?
It would fit. It would probably fit.
You would
probably
think so.
change the
Yeah,
bottom.
you would think it'd fit.
Yeah, but it might slap the top of the cylinder when it runs.
Only if the connecting rod was longer. That'd be all, wouldn't it?
Well, no, because you'd have a longer stroke on it. A longer connecting rod would not change your engine size because your amount of compression would be the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
It would have to be a longer stroke on the crankshaft.
The
it has a different effect than a longer connecting rod would.
Sorry, Ken?
That sounds weird, but it's
Tom likes technical stuff. He can work out for me.
Yeah, what were you guys talking about?
Oh, he looks really interested in this one.
yeah.
A crankshaft from a steel MS250.
Yeah.
Would that crankshaft fit an MS251?
And they have 1 cc different motor size.
Yeah.
That's the catch.
I would question the validity of that 1 cc difference. Give me a second. I'm not convinced by it. Even though it said it, I'm not.
Okay, fair enough.
For all we know, they could just whack the same engine in the newer one, and it's all the same.
Call it a 46. Yeah.
Old stock, we'll whack that in. Yeah, and mark it up one number different, so it looks like you're getting the more modern. So even though the engine's the same, but
yeah, and they're both 45 and a half.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to run. I've got a few things I need to do.
Okay.
See you, Simone.
Right.
Okay.
Good night,
See you
everyone.
later, Simone.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah.
You too.
You too. Right. Yeah, because I've just ordered an aftermarket pot and piston for a MS 170, and that is actually the same as the 017. It's stated on the advert it was the same, but if you're buying that for a 017 still, you have to have the newer coil, because the coil where the coil bolts onto is different on a 017 it is on the MS 170. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. So I've just checked it.
You're
The MS250 is 45.4 cc. The MS251 is 45.6 cc. So I think I'm not convinced that it's totally. I think the engine's fairly similar, but like you just said, Luke, it could be that the clutch drum's slightly different, or it's a slightly different depth, or the bearing's slightly different width. Just
it could be a slight difference somewhere, and it could just be tight in there or something, couldn't it?
Exactly, it could be slightly tight and the part won't fit. Yeah.
Just someone asked me. I'm not going to commit. Okay. It's up to them to find out.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It doesn't have the same part number.
No, so you can't risk. You couldn't risk it, could you?
I don't think there'll be many of those things.
Unless you're willing to give it a go on the bench yourself, just for the fun of it. But
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for that. Thanks for that.
And
I hate
actually,
it when any manufacturer
the
does
MS,
it, don't they?
the
They just-
MS2, the MS. I'm sorry, Tom. The MS 231, 231C, 251, and 251C are very different from the 250 in terms of, and there's actually 3 cylinders for that range.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, but it's different from the 250.
Oh,
Definitely.
Okay. Thanks for that.
Hey, Rich is asking how to test a coil. That's a loaded question, Rich.
Back in
Yeah,
the day,
spark
we had
testers
the
are cheap.
034.
Like an
Spark testers are
armature-
cheap, but they don't give you the actual numbers.
I remember.
Yeah, but I think
I remember that in the early, a lot of people with our type of channels in the early days, they always did a coil test video. I know Mick did one. I think Roy the Boy did one. A lot of people have done them. I've never actually tested a coil because I've always had spare ones in the box. I've just chucked another one on if it's playing up. But yeah, I've never done a video of that.
I mean, if you look it up, you basically just need an ohm meter, and then you check the primary resistance, secondary resistance. That's all you do.
Yeah.
The only thing with electronic coils is you've got semiconductors and resistors in the primary side. So you may find sometimes you can get it's fine. Other times it depends where the ground wire, whether it's internal or external. But sometimes you'll just get a crazy reading and the coil's absolutely fine. It's only on the points ignition system that you can really get a true reading.
I've always found, to be honest, I've never had many
If it's shutting
coils.
off after 15 minutes, and that's probably the coil.
When it's hot. Coil or capacitor, yeah.
Now, if it pulls the same way after 15 minutes that it pulls when it's cold, then that's 90% of the time that's going to be a coil. Now, keep in mind, you could also have fuel starvation on that too, though. So loosen the gas cap and run it and try to start it after 15 minutes. You know, when it shuts off, loosen the gas cap and then tighten it again. And if it starts, it's not the coil.
What you can do is that you take the little spark tester and put it in and start it up. And the second the engine starts to rev down and die, see if you still got spark.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But keep in mind, I worked on a Kohler CV15 the other day. You got to use the right spark tester because a regular blinking light spark tester will still blink at very, very little voltage, and it may not be enough to light the mixture.
Yeah, but you can see that it's really soft.
Yeah, it has to be a bright blue spark, but I use the gap tester where you test the gap. It should be about a 6 millimeter gap.
That's why we have this.
There you go.
I ain't got one of them.
Yeah, you should.
One of those either. I either get a light or I don't get a light.
Well, about 6
Just
millimeters.
get Laura to hold it. I just get Laura. I'm only joking.
Yeah.
See how high she jumps.
Yeah.
They say 6 millimeters simulates a combustion chamber under compression. So
I'd still bet if it won't start after 15 minutes, usually a coil doesn't overheat that fast.
yeah,
When
but
they're
Rich,
going
like
soft.
we said, an inline tester, even on a weak coil, will still spark. Those inline testers only prove that you have something, not enough.
Something.
I'm still old school. I
But-
just lay the plug on
but-
the engine and pull it over.
But if you watch it when the engine cuts out after 15 minutes,
Yep.
and if it's because that you have a non-spark from the coil because it's hot, you will see a difference in the intensity of the
The
blink.
light, yes.
Absolutely.
yeah.
You'll see
Yeah.
a dull orange, the bright orange. Yeah.
Or you'll
Usually when
see
you're-
or you'll see it flutter.
With fuel starvation, usually they'll stumble down. And when it's a coil issue, a lot of times it'll go run. Ugh.
Yeah.
You know, there's none of
That's
that
what-
stumble down you get with fuel starvation.
Rich,
But it depends on what's wrong with the coil because as Kenny says, he's absolutely right. The cheapo inline testers, it takes nothing for them to blink, really.
Yeah.
But
No,
you will see a difference in the intensity
A huge
if it
difference.
shuts off because of a bad coil.
Yeah. Yeah, because when it's starting from cold, obviously it's starting. It'll have a nice bright
Yeah.
spark, won't it? Well, you just got to monitor, I suppose. After 15 minutes, does it look worse?
What I do is I use this one here. If I'm in doubt, let's see where you guys here. This one is adjustable.
Yeah.
So you can you start it up and you could turn this so far apart that the engine will die, but I'll stress it. I'll take it as far as I can just up until before the engine starts to struggle. and then I'll wait my 15 minutes.
Yeah, but sometimes when they're cold, it's a whole different game than when they're warm.
Of course,
No,
that's
that's
why
what you did.
I do that. I stress it.
Check it hot.
So this one here, you can stress it so beyond the 6 millimeters. So if you got a good spark when it's cold, but you got a bad one when it's hot, it'll show up immediately because it'll just die.
What is the engine, Rich? What is it? The actual engine?
And also, Rick, do you have a resistor spark plug? Sometimes that makes a difference too, resistor versus non-resistor.
If you have the older Echo engines or the ones on the Mantis, the SV ones, if you put in a resistor plug, I mean, I've had 2 completely identical Mantis tillers. I put in a resistor plug in both of them by accident. One wouldn't start, one ran like a champ. I took out the resistor plug and the one that wouldn't start, I put in a non-resistor plug. Now that ran as a champ.
Yeah.
And these are the same part numbers on coils, on flywheel, on
You wouldn't
everything.
believe that made a difference, would you? You just wouldn't believe
It
it.
changes
does.
the timing. It changes the timing of molecule too. Just a
no,
molecule.
Nah, it actually changes the intensity of the spark because
Yes.
the resistor takes up quite a lot of
Yeah.
power. So if you have a coil that is more worn than the other or doesn't give exactly the same amount of power, and you put in a resistor plug, you're going to take away the spark. And
Are they
secondly, you don't want to use a resistor plug in something that's designed for a non-resistor because you are stressing the electronics quite a lot.
He says if he hooks up the inline tester, it starts sometimes. I would
Is that an
put a
overhead
resistor
valve?
plug in it and see
Is
what
that an
happens.
overhead valve? That is an overhead valve
Yeah,
engine. Isn't it?
No, it's a quantum. It's a quantum.
So it's
Yeah,
not
but
the
you know
same
what,
as
Rick-
the. It's not the same as the Intec then.
No,
Well, the
No,
it's a
Intec just means it
quantum. Quantum is an L head side
yeah,
valve.
L-head, flathead.
Oh, that's still that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
'cause I
wife's
know that-
quantum now.
I just got to go a sec.
Rich,
Phone drinking.
the time you spent doing all this, you could have bought a cheap coil.
Yeah, that's true. $15.
There you go.
Yeah,
Sorry, Klaus. That's not OEM.
that's what. Hey, I use them too. There's nothing wrong with them. I never had an aftermarket coil come back, ever.
What you doing there? You sewing again?
Like,
Thomas?
makes me think. Stitching. Enjoying your company, everyone's company, while stitching and nattering away.
Yeah. Speaking of
right,
enjoying
well, I'm
company, I
gonna-
got to take my wife to the airport pretty soon here, and I'm going to go visit with her a little before.
Oh, you're all
Oh.
leaving now. Everyone's going.
Yeah, I gotta get home and start fixing some stuff before the customers call up. So,
Now, she flies almost
All right.
every Sunday, so
all
Bye,
right.
guys.
I'll see you later.
I will talk.
See you,
All
Bill.
right, see you, everybody. We'll talk to you
Thanks
soon.
for having us, Ken.
Thanks for having us, Kenny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely.
See ya.
See you. All right.
Yeah, Ken, look at your thing. It turns out